Okay, you're going to start by sectioning it into four parts. I actually already curled the top, the front, so then you have 1 inch sections at the crown area and then you let the rest of it fall back. Then you're going to take your ponytail and you're going to do half of a topsy tail. Here, let me move this so you can see better. Um, you just take and basically you create a ponytail more towards the top. It'll look better, and when we put more our decorations in, uh, it'll make it easier. Okay, so you create your ponytail, and then you just create a hole in the top. Now you don't want it to go all the way through, and you tuck in the ends. Make sure that the ends aren't sticking out at the bottom, hence the half a topsy tail. Okay, then you're going to take your hairspray and you're going to smooth um, all of the flyaway hairs. And now you're going to take your pumpkins on a skewer stick. Make sure, and you're going to put the first one right in the ponytail, if you can. Then you're going to put in the other two. Now I have, for a nice color contrast, dark in the middle and then two lighter ones on the side. What colors you want and what size or shape is completely up to you. Okay, so now that we have our three pumpkins in, we're going to take our leaf bobby pins. Um, and in another tutorial, I'll show you how to make those and a couple others. And we're just going to put one on each side and on the bottom because the top, well, with this particular pumpkin, the top is kind of crowded, so we'll just put them on the bottom, which is perfectly fine. Or if you have the round pumpkins, and you can put them on the top, completely up to you. And then you're going to take your flour. Now I forgot to break the stick, but it's important that for each of these things that have the stick that you wrap tape around the bottom so that it doesn't snag the hair or get caught, because then that would not be good for your hair or for the stick. So what you're going to do is you're going to stick that right on top of the middle pumpkin, and this is what it's going to look like. So I think that looks pretty nice. Um, so now what you're going to do is you're going to take the section that's closest to the back, your 1 inch section, and you're going to separate into three parts. The sides go down, and then the middle is just going to be combined with the section right above that. So now you can take and I would suggest using a heat protectant because it locks in the curls and just makes it look really nice and it holds it in longer. So what you're going to do is you're going to take and make ringlets for those on both sides. Okay, I have one side done, so I'm going to move to the other side, and we're basically going to do the same thing here too. Now throughout this tutorial I'm going to alternate using the product and then not using the product, but it's up to you. You don't have to go and buy whatever product, but for that big bottle, I think I only paid like $8 at Sally's Beauty Supply, which isn't too terribly bad. And I've had that for uh, like a year now, and it's still more almost full. So it's a nice thing to get, but there are other different products that you can get that have the heat protectant in it, so it's up to you on what you want to do. So I'm just curling the other side and I'm testing this. Make sure if you decide you want to test it, make sure you don't press it too hard because you will burn your fingers. And that is never a pleasant experience for anyone. So you're going to separate the curls now, and you're going to make sure the sections are separated. And so you still have that one section on top. Now you're going to use hairspray and hold it in place because otherwise, guess what? Yeah, it's going to fall out. So it looks good now. So now we're going to move to the top section. And what we're going to do is we're going to kind of create some barrel curls. And so this will give it kind of like a halo on top of the head leading into the back with the pumpkins and flowers. So we're just going to take our curling iron. Now I'm using a Marcel, so yours might be a little bit different. Might be easier, might be harder, who knows. But you're just going to take and roll it down. And test it. And then you're just going to take the curling iron out of that curl. Now, to make sure that um, that it stays while the curl is cooling down, it might be a good idea to take and put the curl back into place. So then that way it's easier for when we do the barrel curls or the pin curls. So that just might be a good idea. So now I've speeded it up a little bit because otherwise this tutorial would have taken 20 minutes and I know that you probably don't have 20 minutes and the limit for YouTube is 15. So we're just going to speed it up, create this little halo. Now personally I like to use Proclaim if I was not using heat protectant because that adds shine and it has a heat protectant in it, so it's kind of nice. Okay, so now that I'm done with that, I'm going to take some bobby pins as you see, and I'm just going to separate the curls I did on top, and then I'm going to pin them. So this is kind of, you might do this if you're trying to get that Taylor Swift look for a love story, and just create some pin curls. And once again, you're going to do this all over the front section. So just recurl with your fingers and pin. Okay, so it's actually the curling the first part, the front part is really what's going to give you problems. Now I would suggest doing a side part with this because it's really hard to wear a center part, and a side part just looks better no matter who you are because it makes the face look very nice and look oval, which is the perfect face shape. So we're just going to continue to do this. And for the back, I just left the whole section one curl to kind of make it different from everything else. Okay, so now I'm going to add little additions, and this is a leaf bobby pin. And so I'm pinning the one side out of the face, so that makes it look all good. Um, and it kind of adds to it. Now you're going to spray it completely, like drench it almost in hairspray, so that when whatever it is you're using this hairstyle for, it doesn't fall out. Now this is actually gold sparkle spray for hair. You can get this actually around this time of year for Halloween, but you might want to stock up because I didn't realize this existed and it's pretty cool. So now that we're spraying the gold sparkles in it, it gives it that nice princess feel and look to it. And it also brings out the pumpkins. So it's really easy and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please do not forget to comment and rate.